What's up guys, Evan47 and welcome to watching For The Plot. Subscribe for more content coming your way. Okay, so this was also going to be a short one, just like my hooligan review was. This one's called Trouble Evocation. It's a 1996 animation and it's very Viper GTS-esque. Matter of fact, honestly, one could say that this show inspired Viper GTS because it came out before it. So that's an interesting thought. Now, why is this Viper GTS adjacent? Well, because it essentially takes the main character who is a succubus and she is summoned. And when she gets summoned, she has to perform or grant 3 wishes. However, if the person who summoned them doesn't have any of the wishes on hand or doesn't know what they want, they'll automatically default to what this anime is known for, you know, sexual favors. And hilarity ensues, and then they live happily ever after, just like Viper GTS. Now, hilarity is quite different, almost the complete opposite, essentially. Whereas, if you were to take the Viper GTS ending, it went everyone's fighting together against the big bad evil angels. In this one, it's just everyone fighting together against, well, Leah's sister. So we'll start off with the person who summoned her. His name is Shiga. Now, Shiga summoned Leah. He did it a month ago when his life was completely different, you know, when he was just down bad, it was lonely, it was awful. And when Leah came to answer the summons as a succubi, he didn't want her any, because he was out there, you know, getting to it, you know what I mean? He didn't need wishes to fulfill his desires anymore at this point. And if you think about it this way, as a businessman, a month-long waiting period for shipping or any delivery at all, it would disincentivize you to, you know, want to take the product seriously if that is how they treat you. And the reason he fell quote unquote for the succubi or the demons woes, is that the right word, woes? Is because when he was out there parading, getting to the action, the one girl he was trying to hook up with happened to be intersex, and he's like, oh, fuck no, goodbye, and just zipped off. And that's the thing. And of course, when he got home, he was like, oh yeah, it was crazy. That was fucking intersex person, and she had a dick, dude, it was crazy. And then Leah's like, what? That's awful. Oh my God. And just talking to shit. And then she was like, yeah, so, get out of here, please. I want to be alone. And Leah's like, wait, no, wait, I gotta fulfill my wishes, you know, you gotta tell me what your wishes are, and then I'll be able to leave. She doesn't tell him, of course, that she's gonna take his soul after the wishes, but that's besides the point, you know, because like, how do you casually bring up you're gonna take someone's soul after you fulfill their wishes, right? And of course, given that Shiga, you know, is lonely, stressed out, distraught, and very panicky, and also irrational, he decides to make his wishes like so fucking unfulfillable that she'll have to be forced to stay here. One of his wishes was to be my servant forever, and you can't do that, but it happens anyway. He worked through the loophole, and now Leah is his servant, and it went from her being his servant to basically her being a lychee housewife like it was in Nana when she first moved in with her boyfriend. And it got to a point where she wasn't fulfilling any wishes, she was just being with him as a relationship. I didn't sit right for her cousin, best friend, sister named Sadina, and Sadina looked at this, she's like, oh, fuck. Because what Sadina's looking at is this, right? She's looking at Leah not only disobeying her orders, but potentially losing out on being promoted to where her mother is, like a very high tier demon that has like a lot of power, a lot of prestige, and basically a lot of respect. And if you miss out on that, you're basically stuck with being a succubi forever. What a succubi is in the career aspect is like being a beat cop, right? No one wants to be a beat cop end of the day. They want to either promote into be a detective, or they want to promote to be like something that isn't a beat cop, because beat cops, all they do is like handle vomit and shit all day. And Sadina's looking at that as like she's missing out on a career opportunity. She's fucking up. So Sadina goes down to Earth and is like, hey, yo, Shiga, here's this mysterious virility drug. It'll pump you up, buddy, because you look tired. And he looks tired because he's been having sex with Demon all day. That'll do that to you. Because fun fact, I've covered through succubi show before, when succubi have sex with other men, they take their power, in lack of better words. He was becoming more and more emaciated, essentially. And Sadina knew that, given that she is succubus as well, and gave him this wonder lizard Viagra dusted bullshit, whatever. He took it, went at it nonstop, and then while that was happening, Sadina's like, God damn it, she's not getting this. She needs to leave him. So now she's set up to be like, you know what? Here, Leah, you fucked up, man. You fucked up big time. I'm going to put you in your own little genjutsu prison cell in my necklace and take care of this myself. So at that point, Sadina is now on Earth and she's just ready to fuck shit up. And her plan of fucking shit up is disguising herself as Leah to go on a date with Shiga to be like, hey bro, yeah, just so you know, humans and demons intermingling is very bad. Ha ha ha. She's basically being COINTELPRO. Essentially, she's a demon. However, she's bad-mouthing demons to a human to make demons look bad, so therefore that human can leave the demon. It's like that. Placing irrational fear in him to make him see that this is fucked up. When Shiga immediately found out that wasn't Leah, she didn't expose herself. And at this point, they start fighting. Now, I don't know if you watch my Hooligan review, which you should totally watch, by the way. Totally watch Hooligan review. Whenever fighting is used in the context of these type of shows I review, it's not the shonen fighting I'm referring to. It's the type of fighting, right? It's that type of thing. Now the weird thing is, right, that when Shiga went at it with Sadina, because they were fighting, Leah was in her necklace, so she potentially could have heard all this. However, Leah was so deep in her thought that she didn't even think about like listening, eavesdropping on what was going on, what was Sadina doing in the first place, and so they just moved on, I guess, like it never happened. And the way they moved on was by saying, oh yeah, by the way, whenever you me, I do gain more powers. I regenerate more often. So that was just completely useless. As a matter of fact, you helped me and I'm going to kill you. At this point, Sadina now has upper ground after getting violated, of course, but she has upper ground now and she's like zapping this man to death. And all she's saying is like, hey bro, listen, if you just say that I forfeit my contract with Leah, give me your soul, everything will be fine. And then Shiga's like, no bro, no, I love her, no, she's mine, no. And he's constantly screaming and crying out about how like much he appreciates her, how much he wants to be with her, this, that, and the third, because they're honestly in love at this point. Like they can't really, they're like inseparable. And then Leah's out there just like envisioning her entire past history. Like she's going through like her entire lifeline. Like she remember when she was a kid with Sadina and they were like rushing together, like hugging their mom or whatever. She remembers like back then, even when she was a little demon, people were making fun of her because she wasn't a real demon at the time. She's remembering all this stuff. Her mother would be so disappointed if she can never see them again, because if she doesn't get promoted and permanently succubied, then she can never ever meet her royal blood mother at all. So it's a lot of stuff going on what she's thinking about. And then at the end of all this thinking process, all this development she's going through, she's like, you know what, fuck it. And then she pops out of the crystal that was locking her in, and she's like, hey Sadina, bro, no, I'm staying here, fuck off. And that's where it ends essentially. And they live happily ever after. Now what does Sadina do after that? Well, given that her motive to fight is just relinquished and just dead right now, because her whole motive was to bring back her lovely little best friend, she just leaves. She's like, you know what? I hope you have a great life. And it just dips. And when she goes back to report to her aunt, she's like, God damn it, I couldn't get her back. Fuck, this is so, I'm mad at myself. And then the aunt's like, yo, bro, chill. If you want to do what you want to do, just let it be. I mean, we can visit her sometimes, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. I mean, and then, you know, Sadina cries about it because she's like, really, it's the weird thing. I want to say, despite how like everything went and despite Shiga almost dying multiple times, actually, I'm gonna put this on mostly wholesome, mainly because even the supervillain's motives were rooted in a sense of like love and loyalty to the main character, being Leah. And because of that deep-rooted loyalty and love, it led to a story that wasn't as maniacal and as insidious as Viper GTS was. Because if you think about Viper GTS, how whenever they like didn't follow the rules for the Succubi handbook, which is like thicker than a bowl of grits, they went to prison, tortured, and they got captured by the enemies, and they also got ethered as well. It's just a lot more to go to the same ending as this show did. So in that instance, given it's the same ending and same start, I would say Trouble Evocation is definitely more wholesome in that aspect. It feels like it's more of a comedy show and everything. Not as much comedy show as Hooligan is, but it's definitely more comedy-esque nonetheless, given the fact that, again, it's more wholesome, period. Alright guys, I don't have an outro, but if I did, it wouldn't matter because I'm making fun of the video. Good night.